What's up, my retail family? This is Edward and Carrie coming to you from Stand Up Retail with some tips and tricks about how to show gratitude to your teams if you're a leader, and peer-to-peer if you're both a leader and associate or hourly associate. This is a topic that we will share each month. It'll look differently based on the themes that we have each month, but hopefully you will enjoy it and you'll participate in our call to action to show gratitude. So Carrie, tell me what you think about gratitude and how important is it?
Whoa. Well, gratitude's super important. First of all, as anyone who works in retail knows that you can't accomplish everything on your own. Even if you try, you burn yourself out. And
Yeah.
somebody else has to come and pick you up and get you back on track. And it really, you forge a lot of bonds. And sometimes those bonds are really, really good and really, really strong. Because you have good gratitude practices, either with that team or with that leader or with that coworker and peer. And sometimes they can be a little wishy-washy. And when you get into holiday and you're surrounded by absolute chaos, gratitude sometimes is the first thing that flies out the window.
Yeah.
And we're not talking, I don't think when you say gratitude, Edward, you're not talking about like company recognition programs, or what do you mean when you're talking about gratitude?
Well, for me, it's gratitude is just, it could be support for someone. It could be, just a simple, hello, how are you doing? Something simple, just to show someone appreciation. I like to think of it like that. And it can come from a leader to a peer to a leader, a peer to peer. And it looks differently for everyone. I think like you said earlier, one of the things about gratitude that we tend to forget is that, especially during this time, it falls to the wayside because it's the easiest thing to not do.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just the quickest
Yeah.
thing to not do. And it becomes one of those things where we think, oh, well, they know I appreciate them.
I'll remember to do that later.
Right.
They
Exactly.
look busy right now. So
Right.
I'll get back to that.
Yeah.
So, I think with this month's theme of countdown to blast off, we all know how crazy this season is going to be. It probably already is, because Black Friday specials have already started online in a lot of cases and in a lot of retail spaces. And the retail buying season, the holiday buying season, is not being compressed, it's actually being stretched. So, you're probably seeing higher traffic, increased hours, increased workloads. And there's no better time for us to start practicing giving recognition than the lead up to Black Friday. So I think showing gratitude is super important. But I think the number one thing I actually wanted to start with, Edward, if you don't mind, is how important it is for the leader to take the lead in gratitude. And I'm not talking about a company recognition program, because that's something that's dictated that you do by the company. I'm talking about, as a leader or a leadership team, really being the first people to embrace this idea of showing daily gratitude. Because when your peers or your employees see it, they will feel it. They will respect it, and they will appreciate it. But above and beyond that, they will then mirror it and will then continue it. So it really is kind of paying forward this, this gratitude, paying it forward idea is super simple. But again, like you said, it's the thing that slips the quickest, because the to-do list gets longer and longer, and the interruptions you have coming at you derail you quicker and quicker. And you forget to get back to it. Yeah. So I want to talk about a couple of things, a couple of ideas that I've experienced in the past that have worked really, really well for leaders. And I wanted to get your input, Edward, on, how, since your specialty was really the latter half of your career
Mhm.
was in support functions,
Right.
multi-store impact from merchandising standpoints, as well as execution and support teams for the selling floor. I want to get your feedback on, like, some things that leadership teams within that world could also think about doing to show gratitude.
Right.
So my number one thing is break rooms. And my favorite thing to do was to create spaces where people could go and experience the holiday season or their break the way that they wanted to.
Mhm.
So at a few of my locations, including the one at the biggest retail footprint, we created all these different rooms where, whether it was the leadership team had multiple different rooms that they could go to for a different style of break, or whether it was the hourly population, support, or selling, we had quiet rooms for people who wanted to go and experience their break and just like disconnect and read or be on their phone. No TV, no music. Like, it was nice and calm and clean and collected. We had the overly holiday room. So if you really wanted to, like, just go and be silly and have fun and like just you're in it because you like holiday, like, we had a room that was fully decorated and had a TV in it and was playing like all sorts of like holiday movies on loop, or like traditional movies. We had holiday music playing, but it was more fun stuff, not the
Yeah.
stuff that necessarily is piped over the intercoms. So like creating those spaces and respecting your employees' break and giving them the space to have the break that they need, I think is important. What do you think about giving people what they need, in terms of giving that's how you can show gratitude?
Well, for me, a lot of it is kind of similar to what you do, is creating those spaces
Mhm.
and those moments where you could do things. I will tell you, from a support side, or even like the support operation side, one of the things that, most people don't realize when there is a support staff involved is that a lot of times the support staff is there before store opening, and then there's some buildings that are 24 hours and the support there is after the
Yeah.
store
Like,
closes.
how do you
So a lot of
create
times,
spaces for
how do you
those
create
teams?
spaces? Yeah, how do you create spaces for those? So one of the things that I remember doing with some of my support teams that I had, especially ones that were like in the morning or whatever, we would tend to have, group gatherings to talk about what was on our agenda for the day. Sometimes I would turn those into a scavenger hunt morning, and we would just do
Oh,
some fun little scavenger hunt, just to kind of show appreciation, and like whatever you found in the scavenger hunt, that was pretty much, some little simple gift, whether it was, a Starbucks gift card, or a piece of candy, or a gift certificate to something. So that was one of the things that we used to do. I will tell
so
you,
it's so creating spaces
just
for even a
creating
support
spaces.
team is
Yeah.
not necessarily a physical room.
Yeah,
It's
it didn't have
creating
to be
like a block of time,
a
maybe.
block of time, just some
Mhm.
time that you could spend together. There were times, I will tell you, one of the greatest times that I had as an executive, working with an executive and doing peer-to-peer gratitude with an executive, was we created a space where each day of the week, because there were quite a few of us in these executive roles, where everyone had a day and they brought an event that day, whether it was a game,
Mhm.
or a trick, or something like that. And each day, and it was quick, it was like 20 minutes, all the executives would get together. Whoever was the executive that day that was coming with the event for the day, they would set it up, explain how it works, and then we would play the game or sing the song,
Oh, that's so
or
fun.
things like that, which is very, very fun. About what I liked about that particular situation is that it allowed the individual not only to feel gratitude themselves because they're teaching their peers something or sharing something to their team, it also gave them a sense or a platform to where they felt gratitude because of the fact that their team wanted to participate or
Yeah.
wanted to be a part of what they were sharing. And that was probably, it kind of made it that twofold gratitude where you're giving gratitude and you're also receiving it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's fun. I think, that kind of leads me into the second idea that always seems to work really, really well and doesn't necessarily require a lot of time when doing it. And your last suggestion actually brings it up, is surprise.
Yeah.
Layering surprise
Mhm.
into your daily gratitude plan, for your peers, for your team, for even your customers. But this is really about, corporate programs are great. Today, everybody in the company is wearing ugly sweaters, or it's National Hot Cocoa Day, or those are all great. But
Yeah.
when you've got something posted on a fun calendar or it's broadcast, it becomes like something weird happens in people's minds. They think, oh, they're doing it because they're being told to do it.
Right.
And it's not coming from my team. It's coming from the corporate entity that's like nebulously outside my window that's white. Hold back some really fun, surprising, personal, location specific things that only your executive or your supervisory team understands that you're going to do, and then surprise your team with them. There is nothing better than being able to surprise someone with gratitude, or a treat, or a card, or a Christmas carol, or or an extra break. What are some things that an hourly selling associate or support merchandising, what are some things that they could do to show appreciation and gratitude to each other?
Well, Carrie, I don't really think it looks really any different than any other place of showing gratitude. It could be as simple as, you know what, let me cover this little space, go take you 5 minutes, go have a coffee. It could be a simple, here's a piece of candy, you need some tea, you're big on your tea.
Oh yeah.
Or something like that. But I think also with gratitude, especially when it comes to support, because a lot of them are invisible. You don't really see the support because a lot of times, depending on, who
It happens like off of,
all of that stuff happens behind the scenes. And I will tell you, the best gratitude not comes from the sell to a support, because a support person feels like, oh, they do recognize what I do for them.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
No, I 100% agree. I mean, there often is this kind of invisible wall that goes up between our teams. And when you're in the middle of this crazy time of the year, it is truly invisible, but it is there.
Right.
And when we don't take the time to slow down and recognize the effort that everyone is putting in to make sure that we make it through the day, through the week, through the month, through the holiday season, and are successful as a team, it stays with those people when they're not appreciated, when they feel like they're not appreciated. And you touched on at the very beginning of this little video, is that a lot of times we make assumptions because we say thank you so much that we don't have to say thank you when it's busy. Right. We actually have to say thank you more when it's busy or when it's crazy, because all of those other exterior factors are taking the lead in everyone else's minds.
Right.
The frustrated customer, the break that has to be taken late, the fact I have to recover the same table for the 100th time today because a 2-year-old decided to turn it to spaghetti. There's like all of those other things that are uncontrollable
Yeah.
tend to take over somebody's mind
Yeah.
during their shift.
Mhm.
And a simple, hey, hold on a second, I just want to say thank you. When I called and you came right away and helped me, like I know you put your stuff off for a few seconds to help me. That really meant a lot to me. Let me know what I can do to help you. Like
Yeah.
that takes 5 seconds. So, you know, I think being silly, doing sneak attacks, like I'm a big fan of stickers. You know, like
Yes, you are. I remember
I love
seeing the
doing
stickers.
like, I mean, there's nothing better than going into the refrigerator and seeing like a thank you sticker stuck on your mailbox, on your lunchbox. Like,
Yeah.
oh, who said thank you to me? You know, like those are fun because that means you impacted somebody, and you don't need to know who you impacted all the time. Sometimes it feels good to know that somebody noticed.
Right, exactly.
And somebody's grateful. So think of the little things that you can do. And that's really what this month's call to action is, right, Edward?
Yeah.
Is what are you out there in the stores, whether you're an executive or a supervisor or an hourly front of house, back of house, you know, web sales, whatever you do within the store, what are you thankful for? Who are you thankful for?
Yeah.
And how do you show it? And who do you want to shout out? And we want to collect these. At the end of each month, we are going to actually do a gratitude video showcasing all of the gratitude that you guys send in to us, and shout your teams out, your peers out, showcase ways you show gratitude in your location or you as a part of your team. What are you thankful for leading up to Black Friday?
Yeah,
So in the description box below, you are going to be able to find the link to our email. It is going to be super easy. Just send it to standupretail@gmail.com. We actually also take submissions for recognition anytime during the month. So you don't have to wait to get one of these videos to submit that gratitude. It's just that every month, the type of gratitude or the way you show gratitude, we want to see how you change it. And if you're trying some new stuff, or if it blends with our theme. And since we're counting down to Thanksgiving and that Black Friday holiday, this is what are you thankful for?
Yeah.
So is there, yes.
No, I was going to say, Carrie, with that said, you want to take us out of here?
Yeah, this is Stand Up Retail. It's Carrie and Edward. As always, walk with a purpose, no matter where you are and what you're doing. Be there for each other, and you will be successful. And till next time, we're coming. Yeah, that's Stand Up Retail. Talk to you all soon.
Bye, guys.
Bye.